Yo guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video, we will be discussing an educational topic, a tool that I use for my trading, that I use quite frequently. Actually, I use it every single time when I start analyzing a coin. It is called the fixed range volume profile, or you can just call it the volume profile. And this is basically showing where the most amount of volume has been coming into the market for a certain coin at a certain price. So what you see over here is the fixed range volume profile. Before we dive into it though, I will give you guys my settings so you can copy my exact settings or tweak it a little bit, just whatever you prefer. Because I'm not using the basic settings, I'm using these settings. So make sure to make screenshots right now also of the inputs. And that is all you have to know. Okay, I'm choosing for some smaller sized bars just because I get a little bit more of a detailed view when I'm looking at a certain range. Okay, so to use this tool, you can find it over here, fixed range volume profile, mark it as your favorite, whatever. The first thing that you need to do is you need to determine a range. Okay, so in this case, we can look at two different ranges, right? So we can either identify this range for Bitcoin, for example. So this could be a range. We can identify this as a range, or maybe we can even identify it as an entire range for Bitcoin, right? Okay, so that is the first thing that you have to do before you can start using this tool, because you want to see the certain volume profile of a particular range. Okay, so the first thing you always have to do is that you have to determine that range. After you have done so, so let's say we are going to take a look at this range right here, right? So you're probably wondering, but the price went below the range over here. Right now it's trading over here. So why are you not taking this piece of price action into account? Because the volume profile of the previous range still gets respected as soon as the price reclaims that range. Okay, so that's why I'm only taking the volume profile of this range. And when the price, for example, moves back down below and there's a certain volume level over here, it will still get respected. And by ignoring this small range below, you get a much better and much more detailed view of this range over here. And that is the range that we are going to work with. Okay, so I'm going to take the fixed range volume profile. I'm going to start at the beginning of the range. It doesn't matter how high you put it. Just start at the beginning of the range, click, drag it all the way towards the end of the range, click again, and you get your volume profile. Okay, there are three levels that you always have to mark out on your chart. And that are the value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. The value area high is the area in this case where the color of the bars are changing. So here you have a bit of a lighter color and here the color becomes dark, right? And that is where you have your value area high like this. If you find it hard to find your value area high, you can also just go to settings, go to style, and then select value area high and value area low. And as you can see, it will automatically show it to you on your chart. Okay, but it's not that hard to find it, obviously. So I just remove it because it looks a little cleaner. Value area low is the exact same thing as the value area high, and it is at the bottom of the fixed range volume profile where the color starts changing, right? And this is basically showing that 70% of the volume within this range has been traded within the value area high and value area low area. Okay, and in between this area you have the most important volume level, and that is what we call the point of control. This is always marked out with this big red bar over here. And this is where the most amount of volume has been traded within this range. And this area will always act as very important support or resistance. Okay, so let's dive onto the 4-hourly time frame and let's see if these levels get respected. Okay, so first let's take a look at the value area high, okay, of the previous range. So what can we see? Rejection, move towards the downside. Rejection, big move towards the downside. Where's the price bouncing? At the point of control and value area low. Okay, at the point of control, at the value area low, once again a big bounce. rejection, then this is where it becomes interesting, because you can see we break out above the value area high, then we get a bullish retest and the price gets sent straight away towards the upside. Here, deviation below the value area high, reclaim, sent towards the upside. Okay, so you can already see that these levels are getting respected beautifully. Okay, over here you can see failed to reclaim the value area high, sent towards the bottom. Where does the price bounce again? Around the value area low in the point of control. Okay, so here we have a lot of hovering around the point of control value area low, but you can see the respect of both levels, as you can see, right? Here as well, here actually as well. Support, resistance, support, deviation, as you can see, right? Support, resistance, support. So you can basically see in here massive rejection at the value area high, and the price gets sent straight down. Okay, so you can see how well these volume levels get respected. And then you're probably wondering, okay, but when the price is breaking down out of this range, and right now we have reclaimed it, does it still get respected? Well, this is where you get your answer. Where does it find resistance / consolidation? Value area low, point of control of the previous range. Where does it find resistance? The value area high of that previous range. Okay, so that is why it is always very important to look at the chart in certain ranges. Okay, so right now you know how to determine your value area low, value area high, and point of control, but within a range you also have volume nodes, and that is what I'm going to explain right now. So let's say for this example we have a range over here, right? This is a very clean, very clear range, and we go with our fixed range volume profile from the beginning of the range towards the end of the range. So what can we see? We can see that we have our value area high over here, value area low over here. But we have another volume spike over here. And this is where we have a volume gap, right? And this gap is offering us two different volume nodes. You get a volume node at the top of the gap over here, and you get a volume node at the bottom of the gap over here. So basically where the gaps are ending at the top and the bottom, that is also where you get volume nodes. Over here, we see another big volume spike, right? We have our value area high at the bottom of that big volume spike, but also at the top of that volume spike over here, where the bars are getting smaller very quickly. At that edge, you can also put a volume node. Okay, so let's right now remove the value area high and value area low. Because we know the value area high, value area low, and the point of control are getting respected beautifully. Right now, let's see if also these volume nodes are getting respected. Okay, so let's go on a 30-minute time frame and let's take a look at these volume nodes. Resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance, right? Consolidation, reclaim, retest of that volume node, and we get sent straight towards the upside after finding resistance first at this volume node. You see? So you can see not only the value area low, value area high, and point of control are getting respected beautifully, but also these volume nodes, if you see them within your range, because you don't always have them, they also get respected very, very well. So let's say the Bitcoin price now ever goes back up again, right? Then we take, for example, the fixed range volume profile of this range over here. Okay, like I said, look at the price within ranges. You take the fixed range volume profile, you zoom in, and I can tell you right now that if you mark out this point of control and this value area low, that if Bitcoin goes towards 28.8K or 30.1K, I can almost guarantee you that it will find some kind of a hiccup, some kind of a resistance, maybe a very big resistance at either the value area low or the point of control of the previous range. Okay, so that is why you have to look within certain ranges. Another range over here. Does it go back up even more? Then take the point of control and the value area high and value area low of this range, and they will still act as resistance all the way over here. Same for this range. Same for this range. Okay? trust me, they will still act as support and resistance in the future. And that is why it is very important to look at the price. First of all, in certain ranges, then determine the value area high, the value area low, and the point of control. And then afterwards, you can even look for volume nodes within that range. Okay? Does this mean you can trade just solely based on volume levels? Of course not. But it is one of the confluences that I use in order to determine certain areas of support and resistance. Okay? And as you can see, as I've shown you in this video, they get respected beautifully. Okay, guys? If you guys have any questions after watching this tutorial about fixed range volume profile, make sure to ask me in the comments down below, or you can just hook me up on Twitter, or you can just text me maybe in our free Discord. So make sure to follow me on Twitter, join our free Discord. Both of the links are in the description, guys. Also make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, smash up the like button, and then I will see you guys on Monday's video. Okay, guys? Enjoy your weekend. Ciao, ciao.